I'm ringing you up and we're on the phone.
Okay.
So ring. Hello Sally, are you there?
Hi Jenny.
Hi. Now, did you get the tapping points that I sent you?
Yes, I did.
Great. All right, well what I want to do is run through the tapping points first so that we understand that. So at the moment we're looking at tapping on the karate chop point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that fleshy part underneath the little finger of your hand, the fleshy part of your hand. If you were going to go karate chop on something, that's where we're tapping. All right, so you've got that?
Yep.
All right, the next point is the top of the head, as if you're a puppet on a string, pulling you up through the middle of your head. Got that?
Yes.
Next one is the eyebrow point, and it's the start of the eyebrow above the nose, but it's the start of the hair of the eyebrow, okay? Got that?
Yes.
Next one's the corner of the eye, so it's on the bone at the corner of the eye, and it can be any side of the eye, any side of your body. The corner of the eye, so it's not so close that it's making you blink, and it's not so far back that it's on the temple. It's just on that bone at the corner there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Next one's under the eye, and it's the bone under the pupil, okay? That's under the eye. Next one's under the nose, which is the fleshy part underneath your nose and above your lip.
Yep.
Got that?
Yep.
Next point is the crease of the chin, so under your lip.
Mm-hmm.
Good, and that's called the chin point. Next point is your collarbone, and if you follow your collarbone into the midline line under your neck, under your throat, you'll find these two little knobbles.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come down about an inch slightly diagonally outwards, you'll find a hollow.
Yep.
And you can use your finger and thumb of your middle finger and thumb of one hand to tap both those points together.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And then the next point is under your arm into the rib cage, about 4 inches or 100 centimetres down under the arm, and it's usually where the bra strap is.
Okay.
Got that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they're the points that we'll be using. So I want you to just start, make sure that you've got your phones off and that sort of thing, and you've got some water with you and some tissues in case we need them, and there's no distractions.
Okay.
Okay, and just tapping on the karate chop point, I want you to tell me a little bit about what you want to work on today.
Do you have to make something up?
Yeah.
Okay, let's pick up on a theme
Uh-huh.
about sometimes wondering whether I've done enough for my son who's now living overseas.
Okay.
And
So when you think about that, have I done enough for my son who's living out overseas? Say that out loud while you're tapping. Have I done enough for my son who's living overseas?
have I done enough for my son who's now living overseas and independent of us?
Mm-hmm. Do you feel anything in your body when you say that?
Yeah, I feel in the like the pit of my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've got this feeling that if only I'd known.
Okay.
If only I'd known what I knew now,
Mm-hmm.
what a different life we might have been.
Okay, so you've got that feeling in the pit of your stomach. Does
Yeah.
it have an emotion? If only I'd known what I know now.
Yeah, there's a sadness.
A sadness? Mm-hmm. And it's in the pit of your stomach, and does it have a shape or a colour?
Round and red.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's start tapping on the karate chop point. Even though I've got this round red feeling in the pit of my stomach,
Even though I have this round red feeling in the pit of my stomach.
this sadness, did you say? Was it? Yeah.
Did you say pit? Oh, sorry.
Karate
I thought you
chop.
said head. Okay.
On the karate chop point.
Okay.
So even though I've got this round, red, sad feeling in the pit of my stomach,
Even though I have this round, red, sad feeling in the pit of my stomach.
when I think about my son,
When I think about my son,
who's now living overseas,
who's now living overseas.
if I had have known back then what I know now,
If I had have known back then what I know now,
things would be different.
things would be different.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and this feeling in the pit of my stomach.
and this feeling in the pit of my stomach.
I accept myself deeply and completely.
I accept myself deeply and completely.
Even though I've got this red, round feeling of sadness,
Even though I've got this red, round feeling of sadness, it's actually really at the bottom part of my stomach, like almost into the uterus.
yep, at this bottom part of my stomach, almost into my uterus.
In the bottom part of my stomach, almost into the uterus.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and all these feelings
and all these feelings.
about if only I knew back then what I know now.
If only I'd known then what I know now.
I accept myself deeply and completely.
I accept myself deeply and completely.
top of the head, this red, round, sad feeling.
This red, round, sad feeling.
Right at the bottom of my stomach.
Right at the bottom of my stomach.
Almost in my uterus.
Almost in my uterus.
This sadness.
This sadness.
Eyebrow, this sadness.
This sadness.
Corner of the eye, this round red sadness.
This round red sadness.
Under the eye. Right at the bottom of my stomach, almost at my uterus.
Right at the bottom of my stomach, almost at my uterus.
Under the nose. When I think about what I know now.
When I think about what I know now.
If I had have known it then.
If I had have known it then.
Chin point. How would it be?
How would it be?
Collarbone. This sadness at the bottom of my stomach, almost at my uterus.
This sadness at the bottom of my stomach, almost at my uterus.
This round red ball feeling.
This round red ball feeling.
Under the arm. If only I had have known back then what I know now.
If only I'd known back then what I know now.
Okay, so take a deep breath. How's that feeling now?
It's lighter.
Mm-hmm.
The red to me feels like just guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Just, if I'd only listened to my intuition and said no, because we're not going to do this vaccination thing, it would have been so different.
Okay, so I want you to tap on your karate chop point and think about that guilt and where it takes you to. So you're thinking of that time when, if only I'd said no.
If only I'd said no.
To that vaccination thing.
To that vaccination thing.
So when you think about that, where do you feel that in your body, that guilt?
In my heart.
In my heart? Mm-hmm. And does that have a colour and shape? That
purple.
Guilt? That guilt in your heart?
Yeah, it's purple, and it's like a long triangle. It's got a point and it's got an end, and it sort of sits right under the heart. I can actually see the day that I made the decision. I knew I was making the wrong decision, but
Okay. All right, so on the karate chop point, even though I can see the day when I made that decision.
Even though I can see the day that I made that decision.
If only I'd listened to my intuition.
If only I'd listened to my intuition.
And I can feel the guilt like a purple long triangle under my heart.
Guilt like a purple long triangle under my heart.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
Deeply and completely.
Deeply and completely.
Even though I can remember the day.
Even though I can remember the day.
When I made the decision.
When I made the decision.
And I didn't listen to my intuition.
Because I was so scared.
I was so scared.
I deeply and completely
accept myself, yeah.
Accept
Even
myself.
though I've got this purple long triangle.
Even though I've got this purple long triangle.
Of guilt.
Of guilt.
When I think about the day I made that decision.
When I think about the day I made the decision.
I was so scared.
I was so scared.
I didn't listen to my intuition.
I didn't listen to my intuition.
I want to let go of the guilt.
I want to let go of the guilt.
That's still trapped in my body.
It's still trapped in my body.
And I accept myself deeply and completely.
And I accept myself deeply and completely.
Top of the head, this purple long triangle.
This purple long triangle.
That's trapped under my heart.
It's trapped under my heart.
Eyebrow, I can still remember the day I made the decision.
Still remember the day I made the decision.
Corner of the eye, I was scared.
I was scared.
Under the eye, I didn't listen to my intuition.
I didn't listen to my intuition.
Under the nose, I was scared.
I was scared.
Chin point, releasing this guilt.
Releasing this guilt.
Collarbone, I didn't know what I know now.
I didn't know what I know now.
Under the arm, I didn't know what I know now.
I didn't know what I know now.
Top of the head, releasing this guilt.
Releasing this guilt.
Doesn't belong in my body.
Doesn't belong in my body.
Eyebrow, doesn't help him in any way.
Doesn't help me in any way.
Corner of the eye, doesn't help him in any way.
Doesn't help him in any way.
Under the eye, and I want to release the guilt.
And I want to release the guilt.
Under the nose, I do know more now than I knew then.
I do know more now than I knew then.
Chin point. And I'm able to help others now.
And I'm able to help others now.
Collarbone. I do know more than I know now than I knew then.
I do know.
I do know
now more than I knew then.
Mm-hmm. Under the arm. Releasing that long triangle purple guilt.
Releasing that long triangle purple guilt.
Under my arm. Under my heart. I'm getting confused. Under my heart.
Under my heart.
Mm-hmm. Top of the head. I know more now than I did then.
I know more now than I did then.
Eyebrow. Releasing all this guilt.
Releasing all this guilt.
Corner of the eye. This purple long triangle of guilt.
This purple long triangle of guilt.
Under my heart.
Under my heart.
Under the eye. When I think about that day I made the decision.
When I think about that day I made the decision.
Under the nose, I was scared.
I was really scared.
Chin point. I was really scared.
I was really scared.
And I didn't know what I know now.
I didn't know what I knew now.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I did know.
Collarbone. At some level I did know.
At some level I did know.
And I didn't listen to my intuition.
I didn't listen to my intuition.
And maybe I can forgive myself for that.
And maybe I can forgive myself for that.
Under the arm. Maybe I can forgive myself for that.
Maybe I can forgive myself for that.
Top of the head. I listen to my intuition now.
I listen to my intuition now.
Eyebrow. Maybe it was my lesson to learn.
Maybe it was my lesson to learn.
Corner of the eye. So that I could learn to listen to my intuition.
So I could learn to listen and trust it.
Under the nose. I do trust my intuition now.
I do trust my intuition now.
Chin point. And maybe I can forgive myself for not trusting it back then.
And maybe I can forgive myself for not trusting it back then.
Collarbone. Releasing the guilt.
Releasing the guilt.
From myself.
From myself.
And from everything I see in my son.
From everything I see in my son.
Releasing the guilt.
Releasing the guilt.
Under the arm. Releasing and forgiving myself.
Releasing and forgiving myself.
For not listening to my intuition because I was scared.
Not listening to my intuition because I was scared.
Top of the head. I was really scared.
I was really scared.
Eyebrow. When you're really scared, you can't really tune into your intuition.
Because when you're really scared, you can't tune into your intuition and they kill you.
Say that again. Corner of the eye.
Because when you don't listen to your intuition, then they try and kill you.
And where's that coming from?
From a past lifetime.
Corner of the eye. And when you don't listen to your intuition, they kill you.
When you don't listen to your intuition, they threaten to kill you.
They threaten to kill you. Under the eye. No wonder I was really scared.
No wonder I was really scared.
Under the nose. Wherever this is coming from.
There's all the experiments.
I
was watching them.
Okay. Chin point. I was watching them. All those experiments.
I was watching them. All those experiments.
Collarbone. Dissolving all this fear.
Dissolving all this fear.
I was really scared.
I was really scared.
Watching all these experiments.
Watching all these experiments.
All the way back when I experienced it.
All the way back when I experienced it.
Dissolving any remaining feelings in my body.
Dissolving any remaining feelings in my body.
All these scared feelings.
All the scared feelings.
They don't belong trapped in the cells and memories of my body.
They belong trapped in the cells, the memories of the body, all the mothers.
All those mothers. I was really scared for all of those mothers.
I was really scared for all of those mothers.
And I send them love.
And I send them love.
Releasing their fear.
Releasing their fear.
And releasing mine.
And releasing mine.
Everything that I saw.
Everything that I saw.
Under the arm. Releasing all the fear.
Releasing all the fear.
From everything I saw.
From everything I saw.
And everything those mothers felt.
And everything those mothers felt.
Top of the head. Releasing all those memories.
Releasing all those memories.
Eyebrow. From everything I saw.
From everything I saw.
Corner of the eye. Everything I felt when I saw that.
Everything I felt when I saw that.
Under the eye. Everything I felt when I remember those mothers.
Felt so helpless.
I felt so helpless.
When I remember those mothers.
When I remember those mothers under the nose. I felt so helpless.
I felt so helpless.
Chin point. I felt so helpless.
I felt so helpless.
Thank you.
They were so sad.
Yeah. Collarbone. They were so sad. I felt so helpless.
They were so sad and I felt so helpless.
It's no wonder what I'm doing in this lifetime. Helping all those mothers.
No wonder what I'm doing all this lifetime, helping all those mothers.
under the arm. Maybe I can thank that lifetime.
Maybe I can thank that lifetime.
Top of the head, for giving me purpose in this lifetime.
For giving me purpose in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Eyebrow, sending love to all of those mothers.
Sending love to those millions of mothers.
Millions of mothers. What colour do they need?
Blue.
Mm-hmm. Corner of the eye. Sending them a beautiful blue colour of love, letting them know they're safe and protected.
Oh, now it's pink. Okay.
Pink.
Pink and blue.
Uh-huh.
The girls and the boys.
Yep.
So that they're loved and protected.
Yep. Under the eye. This beautiful wave of pink and blue to all of those mothers.
Beautiful wave of pink and blue to all those mothers. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm. Under the nose. Letting them know I'm so sorry I couldn't help them.
Letting them know I'm so sorry I couldn't help. I couldn't stop it.
I couldn't stop it.
Couldn't stop it.
Chin point. Letting them know I'm so sorry I couldn't stop it.
So I was scared and I couldn't speak up.
Yep, I was scared and I couldn't speak up.
I knew what they were doing was so wrong.
Collarbone, I knew what they were doing was so wrong.
But if I said anything, they were going to kill me.
If I said anything, they were going to kill me. Under the arm. Releasing all my guilt and all my fear, all my helplessness.
Releasing all my guilt, all my fear and all my helplessness.
Top of the head, I'm helping them now.
I'm helping them now.
Eyebrow, I'm helping them in this lifetime.
I'm helping them in this lifetime.
Corner of the eye, releasing all my fears.
Releasing all my fears.
Under the eye, all my guilt.
All my guilt.
Under the nose, all my helplessness.
All my helplessness.
Chin point, all my fear that they were going to kill me if I spoke up.
All my fear that they were going to kill me if I spoke up.
Mm-hmm. Collarbone, forgiving myself.
Forgiving myself.
Sending myself pink and blue.
Sending myself pink and blue.
Dissolving all my fear.
Dissolving all my fear.
All my guilt.
All my guilt.
I'm helping them now.
I'm helping them now.
I'm helping them back then too.
Helping them back then too.
Because energy travels in time and space.
Because energy travels in time and space.
And I'm helping them back then.
I'm helping them back then.
I'm giving them an endless supply of pink and blue.
I'm giving them an endless supply of pink and blue.
From that endless supply from the universe.
An endless supply of the universe.
And I'm giving it to me.
I'm giving it to me.
Releasing all my guilt.
Releasing all my guilt.
All my fear.
All my fear.
So take a deep breath. So when you think about all those mothers now, how are you feeling?
There's a lot of, I'm watching them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of sadness.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of anger.
Yep.
They watched as these experiments were undertaken on their children and on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awful.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the Red Nation people.
Right. So tapping on your karate chop point. Even though I still see a lot of sadness.
Even though I still see a lot of sadness.
As I watch these Red Nation people.
As I watch these Red Nation people.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
Deeply and completely.
Deeply and completely.
Even though I've still got a lot of sadness that I see.
Even though I've still got a lot of sadness that I see.
I accept myself deeply and completely.
I accept myself deeply and completely.
Even though there's still a lot of sadness.
Oh, even though there's still a lot of sadness.
When I see them being experimented on.
And I see them being experimented on.
The kids and their mothers.
The kids and their mothers.
I accept myself and all this helplessness.
Accept myself and all this helplessness.
And all the sadness.
And all the sadness.
And I send them the love and the peace that they need.
And I send them the love and the peace that they need.
Top of the head. Sending them empowering and peaceful colours.
Sending them empowering and peaceful colours.
Eyebrow, they are at peace now.
They are at peace now.
Corner of the eye, sending them empowerment and peace back then when they needed it.
Sending them empowerment, peace back then when they needed it.
Under the eye, when they needed it the most.
When they needed it the most.
Under the nose, when they felt all that sadness.
When they felt all that sadness.
Chin point, And when I feel that sadness, remembering it.
And when I feel that sadness, remembering it.
I send myself strength and empowerment.
Send myself strength and empowerment.
And peace.
And peace.
Collarbone. And I feel that peace now.
And I feel that peace now.
Even when I remember seeing the experiments.
Even when I remember seeing the experiments.
Under the arm. I'm helping so many now in this life.
I'm helping so many now in this life.
And I'm sending them peace back then.
And I'm sending them peace back then.
Mm-hmm. Feeling peace.
Feeling peace.
So take a deep breath.
That wasn't how that was supposed to go.
Yeah. So I just make something up, you said. No such thing. Okay, so do you feel like that's settled enough now?
Yeah, the guilt's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still a bit shaky around my legs and but it's not the red ball anymore.
Yep.
Just a gentleness.
Okay, so let's just wrap it up.
Okay.
So even though I'm still a little bit shaky in my legs,
even though I'm still a little bit shaky in my legs,
because my body's still processing this.
My body's still processing this.
And processing it way back in time as well.
And processing way back in time as well.
I accept myself and the way my body's processing this.
I accepted myself and the way my body is processing this.
And I allow my body to continue to process it.
I allow my body to continue to process it. That's why I couldn't have babies naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
That's why I couldn't have babies naturally.
That's why I couldn't have babies naturally.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And everything that my body held on to.
Everything that my body held on to.
And I thank my body for the awareness I've now been given.
And I thank my body for the awareness that I've now been given.
And for my opportunity to clear it.
For my opportunity to clear it.
Mm-hmm. Top of the head. Processing and releasing all this remaining energy.
Processing and releasing all this remaining energy.
Eyebrow from the past.
From the past.
Corner of the eye that's still been in my body.
Still being in my body.
Under the eye, releasing and processing the remaining trembling.
Releasing and processing the remaining trembling.
Under the nose, now I have the awareness.
Now I have the awareness.
That's why I couldn't have babies naturally.
That's why I couldn't have babies naturally.
Chin point. I had this energy trapped in my body, that fear of having.
That's why David picked up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Fear in my body.
Yep, that I'm releasing now.
That I'm releasing now.
And I'm releasing it from David's energy.
And I'm releasing it from David's energy.
Way back when he picked it up.
Way back when he was in utero and he picked that up.
Mm-hmm. Releasing all of that.
Releasing all of that.
From me and from him.
Me and from him.
Way back then.
Way back then.
When he was in utero.
When he was in utero.
Under the arm, releasing all that pattern of fear as far back as it goes.
Releasing all that pattern back as far as it goes.
Out of my body and my energy.
Out of my body and my energy.
Allowing my body to process it naturally.
Allowing my body to process it naturally.
Mm-hmm. Take a deep breath. So how's that feeling?
Yeah, it's good.
Good, okay.
Oh,
So we'll check in next week and see how that goes.
Good in your life.
Well done.